What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Stocks to Watch. And today was a day where Bank Nifty did wonders. Banks were all over the place today. If you look at private banks, PSU banks, you look at mid cap banks, small cap banks, large cap banks. Banking did extremely well. There were a few stocks in the banking space which underperformed, but overall, the banking story, I think it is revived again because we've seen lots of money flow coming into the banks, which was kind of unexpected. Like, I was not expecting banks to do really well, but we did really have to follow whatever the market is doing rather than what we think the market could do. So with that being said, let's quickly start off with looking at the watch list and how did it perform today. So we had all of these stocks on our lists. I'll just put these stocks over here, and what we saw is if you look at Religare, so Religare did extremely well. It was up, I think, 6% at one point in time. It did really well. Apart from that, so Federal Bank was not a part of the watch list. I'll just remove the ones which were not a part of the watch list. And if you look at SKF India also started to move really well, up 1.5%. If you look at other names, so we had a very interesting name which was Ratna Mani. So just look at what the stock did, right? So early in the morning, and this could happen. This could happen in a market like this. So early in the morning, what did the stock do? The stock moved really nicely, and the stock rallied up. I think almost 5.5%, 4.5%. And then the stock just literally bumbled over, and it rolled over all the way and broke all the lows and ultimately came down to all the way to these lows. So that's how brutal the markets could be if you don't really time your exits and your entries on point. So that is another name. Apart from that, LG Equipment also one of the names which tried to move but then it failed. So early in the morning again the stock made a nice little pop over here, so you can clearly see nice little pop. We did not decide to enter this. We were not tracking this because I was not really convinced by this. More or less, even another stock which tried to move a little bit, but then eventually failed. Escorts, same story. Did try to move early in the morning. So I'll just show you the morning half, right? So this is what happened early in the morning. Stock was moving up nicely. And then I think the stock just, rolled over back all the way to the lows. So again, a disappointing action in terms of follow through from these stocks, and we weren't really very confident. I was at least confident about SKF India. I was confident about Religare, and I was also confident about LG Equipment. LG was the one which surprised me. Ratnamani, I was really impressed in the morning, but then it didn't really work out that well. Go Colors didn't really have all of that action, but if you see the daily stocks, they still kind of stayed afloat. Now, the interesting part is Nifty and Bank Nifty both were doing well, but these mid caps names, they were on the backseat today. So that is what makes me shift my focus to banking names. And we took a position in J&K Bank, and I will talk about that, in some time. But just because I'm talking about banks, let's quickly have a look at what did the banks do. So just look at these private banks over here. J&K is not a private bank. Just ignore this right now. But if you look at, Fino Payments Bank moving up really nicely, 6%. If you look at RBL Bank, up 5%. You look at Suryodaya, you look at Karnataka Bank, you look at DCB Bank, and all of these stocks didn't really have a very bullish structure. They were actually rolling down, and this is where they've started to become a little bit bullish. City Union Bank, reacting from these, very, very old areas of demand, and I think this could be a reversal coming in. If you look at Equitas, if you look at Karur Vesa, Karur was obviously, a very good name. We traded this previously as well, and I alerted you about Karur over here if you follow the videos. Federal Bank again from the bottom, it's trying to move up. JNK Bank, similar story. The reason I like JNK Bank and we already have a position is that I can clearly see, right, one very simple thing, that JNK Bank already has a nice little base, right? So this is a very, very unmatured kind of a base, but the reason we took an entry over here is because of the demand right here, right? So I was expecting this demand to kind of hold up. The stock has been doing really well, and I expect another leg to probably be until here and before it starts to explode. But my objective is only to capture it until the 60 rupee areas, but that's what my plan was. Apart from that, you can even see, all the banks, especially from the private space, did really well. Now, South Indian Bank, IDBI, Indus, all of these names were a little on the bummer side. Even Dhan Lakshmi Bank, even this stock did really occasionally well. Now, if I talk about the public banks, if I talk about PSUs, again, similar story. You look at Central Bank of India, you look at Union Bank, you look at Bank of India, you look at State Bank of India, JNK, Maharashtra Bank, everything was setting up really nicely. So banks are definitely going to be in focus. Now, mind you, they are not setting up such a structure that we can start swinging them, but especially for the intraday basis, I think there's going to be lots of action for you to track. So keep all of the banks on your radar, definitely. And Bank Nifty also did really well. I mean, the rally in Bank Nifty was amazing. Good work over there. Now, coming on to the list that I have for tomorrow, and again, it's going to be a short list because you know that I'm very cautious on the markets. I feel any position overnight is pretty risky right now. And even from an intraday basis, I showed you so many examples which started off well, but then eventually rolled over. So even if you're trying to take any positions, you've got to be on your toes in terms of your trade management. If it starts going against you, and if it comes back to your cost, or if you feel that you're getting uncomfortable with that position, make sure to cut that off, right? That's what you have to do. So yeah, pretty much that's about that. Now coming on to the stocks to watch for tomorrow. So SJS Enterprises is one stock. So this is an IPO based stock, recent IPO 2021, and creating a nice little base, and now it's creating a mini base over here, and you can see spikes in volumes, which shows good interest. Post earnings, the stock has zoomed up higher because of very strong management commentary. So everything is pretty much setting up really, really nicely for SGS Enterprises, and I think this is something that I'll probably try to take a position on tomorrow and see if it sets up. Because today it was up 7%. So the only problem with this is that the stock is already up 7%. So what it means is that it might try to create a base over here, and that is what's going to be my preferred area to create a position in SGS. But all in all, I think a wonderful name, wonderful action in SGS. Next up is Jindal Saw, and this is one for intraday action. I think taking this base out, although volumes are not very convincing, but it's okay. I mean, stocks can move up without volumes as well. I think this could give you an intraday move maybe tomorrow, slightly risky one, but in this very selective market, I think it's getting good action, good follow through as well. So definitely something to keep on your radar. Now, Kalyan is what impressed me the most because this is beauty. I mean, this is coming out of this nice little base. The jewelry season is upcoming. You can expect earnings expansion, and you can see very low volume pullback, and the stock is now ready to take this supply off. Another IPO name which created a big IPO base over here. So after this IPO base was taken out, stock expanded, created another base. So for another one or 2 days, I think this is going to be really interesting. Next up is Buildasoft, another name from one name from the IT pack. Now I'm not really a big fan of this. The reason is that the earnings were very dicey, and Europe is weak. The stock gets affected because of a lot of clients from those regions. So I mean, technically setting up decently. On all other IT stocks are not really supporting this, but technicals are favoring the stock right now. So I'm definitely going to be keeping this on my radar as well. Next up is NLC India, and NLC India is also setting up really nicely. Coming out of a nice little base and creating a nice little tight contraction over here. I'm definitely going to be interested to see this. The reason I'm interested, I can see lots of volume activity. Just compare this. I can see decent volume activity. It's trading above that range. Everything is setting up really nicely. Tomorrow, intraday opportunities will definitely pop in this particular stock, and maybe even swing opportunities. Next up is PNC Infratech. Similar story. Now I'm not really liking the cells over here, but and I'm also not really liking this supply. But what I can see from today's action is that it's really interesting on how this is setting up. So this is again not ready yet, but I think this could continue tomorrow. Next up is VMart, and what I'm liking is that the stock is coming out of a downtrend. The stock changed its structure right here. It took this high out, and now the stock is contracting, consolidating in this nice range. The stock has pulled back on lower volumes, and on the earnings call, the company announced that they are reviving their business. So the reason why the stock has done so badly is because their business was really, really very, very badly impacted, and the margins were really down. This could be a turnaround story. This could start moving nicely. Something to definitely watch out for. Next up is Rate Gain, and again another stock which has been in the headlines. They've been bagging nice orders from a lot of international clients, and recently they bagged a contract from cruise line Virgin Voyages. So again, just look at the volume activity over here. There's definitely something cooking over here. So I think that makes me interested in the stock. So again, technically the structure is not ready yet, but I think there could be some action. Next name is pretty interesting because it's Polyplex. Now, this is not your usual range trade, but this is more of a demand tap and an expansion kind of a trade. So I can see the location to be really nice, and I think I'm going to be trying to attempt this because I can see, like, a reaction from here or maybe a direct reaction like this. Either of those cases could be possible. So specialty chemical name, and I think there could be some action in this. Next up is Rossell, and this is from the aerospace and defense space, and you can clearly see volume activities here. Declining volumes in this base, which is what you like. You would want the volumes to be, getting absorbed, and I think this is again ready for another move on the upside. So all of these names are going to be something on my radar, and banks obviously are something that you have to take advantage of if they continue their up move tomorrow, because majority of Bank Nifty's move was primarily because of short covering coming in into large cap banks, and mid cap banks were really enjoying the rally. So I think all of these stocks plus the banks are going to be on my watch list. I'm again very, very cautious on the market. Day after is a market holiday, so kindly plan your trades accordingly. That's it from my side. That is what my research says, that these are the stocks that should be on your watch list. And again, intraday plays could come in the live market. That's a different thing. But as far as the study and research is concerned, I think this is what should be on your radar. That's it from my side. If you're new here, consider subscribing, hit the like button, and comment down below if you like these stocks and which stock you're planning to trade for tomorrow. And make sure to subscribe and share this so that I get motivated to create more such content. I will see you the next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Take care and all the best for your trading day tomorrow. See you next time.